Proper sight alignment. Good sight alignment, good follow through. He's gonna send 5 bullets for us. 2 more.
Plus 1.
Coming right there.
Oh, hey, Tactical Rifleman Nation. Before we get in the video, I just want to take a minute to thank companies that help support our channel. Without them, we couldn't bring you guys great videos every week. This week, I want to thank SDI. SDI is a major supporter. We appreciate them so much. So check out all their online courses. You can take firearms technology and learn how to get into gunsmithing and other areas of the firearm industry. So check them out at sdi.edu for more information. SDI, we really appreciate you. All right, hey team, this week we're gonna talk about how to zero an AK-47, right? We just got a brand new AK from KalashUSA. For those of you that don't know, you guys know the deal. ATF basically changes regs, rules, imports, all this crap, and you can't bring Kalashnikov-made AKs, Russian-made AKs into the US anymore. What do? You start a new company in the US. KalashUSA is 100% made in the USA, but they're like one of the only companies that use the original blueprints that Nikolai Kalashnikov did back in the day. It was Nikolai, wasn't it? Was it brother? I don't know, whoever it was. It doesn't matter. It's a great AK, but it's cool part, it's very historic. Literally, this is it. Stats, added a little more plastic instead of wood, but it's a good AK. It's a good AK. It's never been zeroed. How do you start? You start by zeroing it. Now, everybody's familiar with how to zero their ARs and stuff, but there's a few differences here. A great idea. Let's do a video. First and foremost, you'll notice these sights are not as far apart as they are on a normal M16A4, right? It's also, the sights are different. You still have a post front sight, but your rear sight is just a blade. All right, well, you're supposed to have a hooded rear sight. Guys, it doesn't matter. Think of it as your pistol sights. It's still the same thing. You want equal height, front sight and rear sight, equal light on both sides. It's called sight alignment. So long as you're doing it, you're gonna be fine. Now, the difference though, when you zero, with ARs, we zero them at, some people at 50, some at 36, some at 25, some at 100, and there are different techniques for each, yes. What do you do with an AK? Do you do it at 50? You do it at 100? Okay, let's get into it, because you're gonna see we do it the way I've been taught to actually teach indigenous forces overseas. It works, and it works specifically with this sight. How we zero it is your sight on the back's graduated. You squeeze it, pull it in, and it basically goes all the way from your battle sight 0 all the way down, BZO. A little bit lower, it goes up to 1, and then it goes all the way up to 10. Now, how accurate is 7.62 by 39 at 1,000 meters? How about the word not? But if you've got 100 Soviet soldiers online throwing ammo, one of the bullets is gonna hit. We don't zero on 10. We actually zero on 2. So I'm gonna move this sight so that it's on the 2. All right, now from there, what this does is we're gonna zero at the 25-yard line, and we're looking point of aim, point of impact. We're our demonstrator, Chad. Everybody knows Chad. Chad, here you go. It does not have a round in the chamber, so you can go ahead and put a round in the chamber for me. We're gonna zero this at 25 yards. Now, what this basically equates to is, then when we go back to 100, if he puts the sight on 100, he'll be dead on at 100. If he puts it at 2, he'll be on at 200 meters. If he puts it at 3, he'll do it at 300 meters. Now, you notice I said 25 yards. We zero this at 25 yards, but the actual increments will then be on at the 2 for 200 meters, 3 for 300 meters, and so on. All right, so with the rear sight set on 1, you're also supposed to be dead on at 50 meters. Okay, fine, whatever, all right? Move that rear sight to the letter that is 1 below the 1, and there's a mark. Some of them have an N, some of them have other letters depending on which country makes it. But basically what that is instead of being bottomed out, it actually ramps back up a little bit. And what that is that's your BZO. That's that battle sight 0, that max point blank zero that we talk about with the M16s. That's what that is, right? So you put it there, you should be dead on at 18 meters, but it'll also put you dead on at 250 meters. So what? Why are we worried about 18 meters and 250? What it does is, again, this is our point blank zero. A lot of people call it your BZO. And what it's going to do is it's going to put you plus or minus 7 inches crossing line of sight. Your max ord's not going to be more than 7 inches. You're not going to drop below 7 inches from point of aim all the way out to 300 meters. And what this allows is those indigenous forces overseas, they don't have to worry about range estimation. Basically hold center mass of a torso-sized target. You're gonna get hits all the way out to 300. All right, now remember, when we zero this, I'm putting it on 2, all right? But we're doing this, all the measurements are in meters except for where we're zeroing. We're zeroing this at 25 yards. Once we're here, I'm gonna have my demonstrator get good sight alignment. Front sight post right in the middle of that rear sight. Equal height, equal light on both sides. Chad, take your time, good breathing, smooth trigger pull. Send me a 5-round shot group, please. While he's doing that, guys, we're just using a standard bullseye target. You can print 100 different types off the internet, really doesn't matter. You don't have to have the exact clicks because I have not found one that equates properly for an AK at 25 yards. So we just printed a random bullseye off the internet. All right, Chad, 5 shots, please. Smooth trigger pull, 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. He lets it reset, double check sight alignment. When you're zeroing nice, smooth trigger pull, make sure those sights are perfectly aligned. 3 more, please. All right, now we're done. We're gonna go down and we're gonna check the target. All right, so we had Chad shoot his first 5-round shot group. Decent, and a lot of people be like, oh, my AK's on. He's in the bullseye at 25 yards, but he's a little to the right, a little bit high. You start going back to 50, it's gonna double, right? You understand, it's math, guys. All of a sudden, now you've missed the target. So that's why it's so important to have a good zero. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark these, all right? Kind of hard to mark. Those are bigger holes than my little 5.56 gun, huh? All right, from there, what do I need to do? I need to move it down, all right? And I need to move it to the left, down the left, piece of cake. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make bold corrections on this sight. I'll talk about how to adjust it when we get back there. Easy stuff. Let's go shoot another group. All right, so Chad just shot his shot group, decent shot group, but it is off a little bit. We want to make sure that this thing is dead on, so we're going to now zero those sights. Now, unlike an M16 or AR, where you're doing elevation adjustments, front sight, windage with the rear sight, on an AK, you don't mess with the rear sight at all. Windage and elevation are both done with the front sight. Move it 1 millimeter, move it just 1 millimeter, equates to basically 26 centimeters at 100 meters. Who's gonna measure that? But if you're at 25 yards, where we're at, moving it 1 millimeter adjusts it 6.5 centimeters at 25 yards. I measure that, you have your little ruler. It's not that hard, guys. We kind of tend to wing it, all right? We like to do bold adjustments. All right, so 1 full turn on the front sight is 5 centimeters at 25 yards. That's basically what it comes down to. Now, they make sexy sight tools. What I found overseas with my indigenous troops, guys will get in there, they're trying to turn with their fat Leatherman pliers and stuff. Guys, take an AK casing 7.62x39, pinch it, not all the way flat, and then make it so that the hole's wide enough to go over that front sight. You slide it over that front sight, and guys, you can make the twist clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on how you need to adjust the sight. So if you needed to lower the barrel, all right, you run it counterclockwise. That's going to raise that front sight post. That's going to lower where the barrel is, right? Likewise, if you needed to raise that point of impact, you screw that front sight post in. It is a threaded screw. Basically, all it boils down to. Again, you can use that, and that's what we basically use overseas. Now, if you own your own AK, I recommend that you actually invest in what's called an AK sight tool. You can buy crap Chinese knockoff ones on Amazon. You can, but you can also get good ones off of Amazon. This one's, it's Tapco, Chinese, still Chinese made, but this is a decent one, all right? Loosen it all the way up. Now, the front is keyed for adjusting that front sight. We need to move Chad just a little bit more. I moved him a little bit with my casing. Move him just a little bit more. We're gonna try that. We'll try that. That should be good. Now, the problem though with doing windage adjustments with an AK, it doesn't have that easy clicking knob like we have on our ARs or our M16s. We've been spoiled here in America with actually awesome guns. They don't have that. What you have here is just, it's basically a staked front sight that's a pin. Overseas, you'll see guys laying the gun on the side on the gravel, and they'll be tapping it with their Leatherman and a little mallet. They'll be beating on it with a hammer. You'll see guys trying to press it with a clamp. Okay, you make do with what you've got. That's why I'm telling you, invest in a good sight tool. Literally, dial it out. You'll notice there's a hole on one side, right? I need to move Chad a little bit to the left, right? So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up that hole right there on that pin on the side of his gun, and then when I tighten it down, my thing will tighten right down on the side of that pin, and from there, all I'm doing is I do bold adjustments. Go a little bit more. See how tight that is? That's why you don't go with the cheap ones. After half a class training Marines down at Tier 1 group, you find that all their sight tools have bent. Get a good one that's solid, that's not just not just pressed metal. Once I got it where I think it needs to go, I'm gonna loosen up, because basically all this is a miniature clamp. That's the correct thickness for an AK. That's it. Once you're done, sit it down, because you're probably gonna need it again, all right? And have the shooter, go ahead, Chad, go ahead, load, make ready. I'm gonna have him send that next shot group. Again, remember guys, these are rough corrections, all right? I tried to move it exactly 1 millimeter. I'm trying to turn something 1 millimeter while rotating a clamp. 5 rounds, please. Make bold adjustments, that's it. And then shoot another five round shot group. Proper sight alignment. Good sight alignment, good follow through. He's gonna send 5 bullets for us. 2 more.
Plus 1.
That's good, but that was 5, right? All right, let's go down, we'll check the target out. All right, so this is actually our 3rd shot group. I'm not blaming Chad, because when I adjusted those sights, I dialed that front sight post the wrong direction. So when we shot his 2nd shot group, our adjustment for windage was correct, but I ended up moving him too far in the wrong direction. It happens, my fault, not Chad's. So went back, doubled my correction in the other direction. And right now I've got, if you look at Chad's target, he's basically got 1 there, he's got 2 here, and he's got 2 more up here. Guys, we're gonna call that zeroed. You guys get the point. Now, this is, we've zeroed the gun, right? You've learned how to manipulate that front sight using a good AK sight tool. But remember, this gets you on at 25 yards. Yes, it's supposed to then put that rear sight on. So when you put it at 100, you hit at 100. When you put it at 2, you should hit at 200 meters. You got that. You're done here, you're not done. When the next opportunity you have where you have a 200 meter range, go out and confirm that zero at the furthest distance that you can. I like to confirm our point blank zeros, our BZOs, battle zero, at my point blank distance, which for us is 250 meters. So if you can get a 250 meter range with this, put it on put it on the N or the R or whatever letter you have, what kind of country made your AK, right? And put it there, and you should be good all the way out to your point blank 250. Check it, confirm it at distance. If you got to tweak it a little bit, tweak it. That's what matters, not how tight you are here. Everybody can hit at 25 yards. I need you to be able to hit at distance. Anyways, guys, that's all I got this week. How to zero an AK. It's not hard, but nobody ever does it. They're like, well, it's good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's good enough. You want to win. It's not just about pew pew on the flat range. You got to get out there and shoot. Good stuff. You guys know the deal. Leave the comments below. I read all of them, and you all take care and shoot straight. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.